Hi everyone, I'm Joy from Dressing Alice, and today we're going to sew our Ray overalls. So first off, you're going to print your pattern on A4 or standard letter paper, cut around the black border and tape together according to your pattern layout, and then you will cut your individual pieces out, pin it to your fabric, and then cut your fabric. All right, so whip your individual pattern pieces back out. You're going to use a fabric pen to mark all the dots onto your front overalls and onto the straps from your pattern pieces. You're going to then take out your ruler and draw two lines, a 1/4 inch and 1 inch from the top edge of the pocket. This will be folded over for a clean finish. You're going to iron a fold at the 1/4 inch line toward the back and then iron a fold at the 1 inch line toward the back. Sew a line on the edge of your fold. You're going to flip your pocket over so the wrong side's facing up and draw lines 1/2 inch from the bottom and the side edges. Once you've done that, you're going to iron a fold back towards those lines. Place the pocket on your overalls right side up. Use the dots on the overalls as a guide or place where desired. In this video, I have placed them slightly lower. Top stitch along the bottom and the side edges of the pocket. Make sure to back stitch to reinforce the pocket. As most kids do, they'll put sticks, rocks, whatever they can find, and you don't want that bad boy to fall off while they're wearing it. Pin and sew the straps with a 1/4 inch seam allowance right side together. You're going to leave a gap at the angled straight side of your strap. Cut off the corners on the strap so when you turn it right side out, it's not bulky. You turn it right side out and iron flat for a clean finish. You're going to top stitch around the edge. Get your front and back overalls. You're going to sew the crotch seam with a 1/2 inch seam allowance right side together. This is a bit of a tricky sew, so take your time. You're going to give the curve a couple of snips so that it lays flat when you turn it out the right way. You're going to sew along the edge of the crotch seam so that the seam allowance gets sewn into the back overalls. This helps with any friction. Generally, kids with pants will tear the inside seam, so it just helps reinforce it. All right, so now you want to iron the seam flat that you've just sewn, and then you're going to place your overalls together, right side together, and sew the side seams with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Once you've done that, now's a good time to overlock or zigzag your seams to finish them. Now you want to get your overall linings. You want to sew the side seams of the lining with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, right side together. Once you've done that, now is a good time to overlock and zigzag that seam to finish the seams. you're going to turn the overalls right side out, layer the straps on the back of the overalls so that they are pointing downward, and you want to leave a 1/4 inch on each side for the seam allowance. Pin together. For larger sizes, they won't overlap like pictured. And then you want to sew this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance to secure them, ready for the next step. Okay, get your lining and your overalls. You want to place the overalls inside the lining. The lining is wrong side out and the overalls are right side out. You're going to match them up. Make sure when you're pinning you don't accidentally pin over your straps. I always find it's best to pin the straps to the overalls. That helps any accidental seam ripping that tends to happen a few steps down. So once you've done that, you're going to sew along the edge. Take it nice and slow around the curves. You're not in a rush. It's time to snip off the corners and give the curves a couple of snips. This will help when you turn it round the right way so it lays flat. Turn it right side out and top stitch along the edge of your overalls. Now we're going to hem the bottom of the overalls. So what you're going to do is iron over the bottom edge a 1/4 inch. Once you've done that to both sides, you're going to iron another fold, 1/2 inch, and then you're going to sew along that edge to finish your hem. You're so close to finishing now. You're going to add buttons or use a snap attaching device of your choice. I like snap pliers because they're easier, and I confess I'm not that confident on doing a buttonhole. I'll often speak to Nanny about that and she tries to steer me in the right direction.